5th in the Premier League, Villa behind us, they've got a game in hand. Things are big today. Yes, folks, how is it going, you lovely lot? And welcome back to the Journey Manager. It's episode number 69. I have a 69% win percentage, and that's quite nice, isn't it? Now, today I've got a little bit of a treat for you. First and foremost, it is the Emirates FA Cup semi-final. We are taking on Manchester United at Wembley. Obviously, last time we played at Wembley, things didn't really go to plan. And then after that, the very small matter of Brighton away. A game that on the face of it should be nice and simple, but away games have been a kryptonite for us this year. And, well, as you can see, whilst we are in 5th right now, we are a long way away from 4th, and it does feel like it's a battle between ourselves, Aston Villa and Everton for that final Champions League spot. Now, since last episode, we played a bunch of Football Manager, including this game here, a fun game at Anfield, 5-3. Normally, we're a defensive powerhouse. Didn't really play out like that in this game, but they had a sending off. Crazy ding-dong battle. Jun Jin-Hwan with 2 goals, and yeah, you got man of the match. This man still leading the Premier League top goal-scoring chart. Last year, he got 19 in 34. This year, he's up to 21 already. Having beaten Manchester United and Liverpool back-to-back, we had Everton up next on the road. They were a team fairly close behind us. Savio scored that tap-in, and that was the only goal. We were absolutely stinky in this one. We didn't even have a shot on target. It was a really, really frustrating affair. And yet, 1-0 Everton, not ideal. And from there, to be honest, it hasn't really got much better. A draw against Brentford was frustrating. It was Ashley Phillips for them at the death with a headed goal that saw them get a share of the spoils. Yeah, this was absolutely horrendous. And things went from bad to worse when we drew against Crystal Palace. I'm so annoyed. If there is a crumb of comfort to be had, it's the fact that we were able to beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. Great performance in this one. We dominated the game, and we kept a clean sheet for the first time in a while. Now, I don't mean to come across as a whiner or just complaining for the sake of complaining. It's been such a frustrating season this year. If we look at the XG table, we're first. We're down in 5th in the league. We are at risk, really, of falling out the Champions League spots. Now, admittedly, we have played a game extra, which the XG table kind of doesn't really consider and factor in. But the bottom line is, we probably should be higher than we are. We definitely should have more points than we have. And yet, simply put, that is not the case. But if there is something to hold as a crumb of comfort, maybe, we've had a youth intake. It wasn't horrific. I'm not going to pretend it was absolutely world-class either, but 2 players worth mentioning. Alex Fontaine here, Belgium, 15 years old, looks absolutely tremendous from a technical point of view. In terms of the physicals, they don't really exist besides his stamina, but he's either-footed with a little bit of potential, so we'll see what becomes of him. And the other player we've got, a player who's maybe a bit more my cup of tea, Sean Nelson. Really, really nice physicals across the board here. Shame he is also inconsistent, but nice technicals, nice mentals, already showing some real signs of improvement. And if we look at the coach report, apparently a championship quality player already. I don't think that's true. Now, in terms of the rest of the youth intake, you can see all the players here. There's not really too many players to be excited about. I mean, there's a Levi Peel, who I kind of like because he's got a great name, but he's really not very good. Now, if you were wondering, Jack, you're complaining about the fact that you're playing really well, getting a good XG, but you're not actually creating anything. Rather than complaining, have you thought about formulating a plan? And the answer is, I am kind of formulating a plan, but it's a plan that I'm kind of considering for next year, and it'd be a pivot to something a little like this. We add in an extra defensive mid, we go with a narrow free attacking kind of mid setup. To be honest, I'm not completely wedded to the idea of going strikerless, so I'd love to know what you think. There is a world where maybe we'd look to play a man through the middle as a striker. Worth noting, of course, Faye is a right winger. I'm currently training him to play down the middle with this kind of change in mind. But yeah, something like this could be the future, maybe. I keep having to remind myself, whilst, you know, obviously it's nice to play strikerless, and since we've arrived at Newcastle, we've kind of made it a side quest. The main mission is to get Mark here a Premier League winners medal. He has already actually played 5 games for us in the Premier League this year. So if we were top of the league, he would have actually won a winners medal at this point. But obviously the 31-year-old Singaporean, not getting any younger. And I've enjoyed the strikerless experiment. There is part of me that feels like I probably would just be better off playing with an attacker. You might also note that when it comes to the 5-1-4, I have still been experimenting with Faye's role. I've been really underwhelmed by him lately. I've been playing him lately, actually, as an inverted winger. There's maybe been minor improvements there, but this might sound mental. I'm actually thinking I might try and sell him in the summer. Because if I could get like 92 million for someone we signed on a free transfer, that might be quite good. Of course, I've already got Balaki joining us on a free transfer. I'm not going to pretend I think he's better than Faye by any means, but when you look at them head-to-head, if I am switching to a striker, which Balaki can play, it might not be worth keeping Faye around. Anyway, you know what? That's not here nor there. That's a conversation to have another day. For today's episode, like I mentioned, we're doing the games against Manchester United and against Brighton. Next episode tomorrow, it's going to be a blockbuster end of the year. Hopefully, there's going to be an FA Cup final to do. We also have the final few games of the Premier League season, where on the last day of the season, we actually play Aston Villa, who are our direct rivals, and that might be a game where the winner gets Champions League football. But you know what? From one must-win game to another, we've got this game here coming up first and foremost today. It is Manchester United. It is the Red Devils, and we're going to be looking for a devilish performance, dare I say. In terms of team news, why are we not using my view? Give me my tactic screen view, please, Football Manager. Here it is. I mean, the starting 11 kind of picks itself at this point. I feel like this is a long-established best 11. I will say now, Sousa, not playing amazingly. He had a great start to his time at the club, and having now relegated him to play in the wider areas, he's not quite shone. Maybe another reason to go to that two-centre attacking mid setup. Anyway, I digress. This is the lineup for today's game, I think. I'm looking at Lundqvist thinking, why was Lundqvist here? I'll tell you why he was there. He was there for the last game because Hughes needed a rest, but Hughes has had his rest, and he is comfortably one of our best centre-backs. We've got to play the England international. Now, of course, last time we played at Wembley, we bottled it against Leeds United on penalties. But last episode, we also beat Manchester United 3-0. It's going to be a tough game here. Højlund leading the line for them. Oh, my word. There's a kick-off highlight immediately. I feel like we had one of these last time we took on Manchester United. Is there a kick-off highlight glitch in Football Manager? Maybe there is. Aschenbach, that's a fun name to say. Ball played to Fabry. And, well, it's United in possession early on as they look to bring it forward. Pafundi running back towards his own goal. Kind of a half-hearted press by our boys. Of course, without a striker leading the line, there's not that spearhead really applying pressure to the centre-backs. It's about trying to win those second and third balls. The centre-backs, they can have the ball. We want to get those interceptions and then build up the play quickly and try and catch teams on the break. But on this occasion, United, at least for now, they're really defending and holding on to the ball quite nicely, frustrating us, making us chase things. And now it's Vyfan for them, stepping forward, gives it to Pafundi. Højlund scores. That's annoying. Hello, yes, is that Miles Jacobson of Sports Interactive? Yeah, I'd like to report a bug. Rasmus Højlund's just scored against me. Yeah. You'll fix it for the next game. There is a next game, right? He's hung up. A goal down at Wembley early on is not what you want to see. What makes it worse is they could be on the attack again here. Pafundi cutting inside onto his left foot. Plays it forward. Lafleur. Oh my word. Spike Britt. He's got criticisms from the comment section on occasion. That was a stupendous save. We do, however, still have a corner to deal with here. It's whipped in. It's half-headed away. It's twice headed away. Jun Hwan does quite well. Curtis may be looking to make a counter-attack happen, but at this point, we'll just take the relief of pressure. Not even 10 minutes played here, there is more action. Ordinarily, and often in this kind of save game, especially with the strikerless system, we have seen games kind of fizzle out into nothingness. That is not what is occurring on this occasion here. It is all action, it's bombastic, it's fantastic. Can we see something happen? Hamilton gives it to Big Delhi. Nice build-up play through the middle. Jun Hwan dropping deep, plays it, Faye, inside, behind, hits the woodwork. Oh, that's so frustrating. He has a right foot, really needed to take that on his left foot. And sadly, the woodwork denies us what would have been an equaliser. Having got to Wembley once and lost the EFL Cup final, I really don't want to lose another domestic cup final because I feel like we've gone on some really good cup runs this year, sometimes at the detriment of our league form, where I've kind of prioritised cup competitions and maybe played a rotated 11 that hasn't quite worked out in the Premier League. Sadly, in this game here, there's not really a breakthrough coming, and it is only 1-0 at the break. I mean, it's 1-0 to them. That's the important bit. You've been terrible so far. Sort it out. We've got to step things up here in the second half. Look at the match momentum, by the way. We've been the better team. Don't try and tell me otherwise. We're on the attack here. Semeraro, Big Delhi, Semeraro. Oh, it's not the ball, is it? He gives it straight to Garnacho, and now it's Rasmus Højlund on the attack again. Make him stop. He's waltzing for our defence like we're not even there. Ball's played inside. Soa reads it nicely. Gives it to Faye. Played forward towards Jun Hwan. To be honest, not really many players in support here. Going to look to try and keep the play alive. What a run this is. Oh, my word. If he'd scored that, it would have been sensational. The keeper makes a great save. Corner for Faye to maybe put it on a plate for someone. If you had observed Faye's assists and goal contributions, probably worth mentioning, a lot of his assists have been corners, which really makes him seem like an even worse transfer. Right, you know what? I feel like what we're doing in this game isn't working. We need to press higher and harder, a bit of rock and roll football to try and win the ball back. I'm going to take off Sousa, not at the best of games today, and we're going to bring in Ivkovic. Elsewhere, you know what? I'm taking off Faye. I'm bringing in Diego Tofano. This bloke recently got his first ever cap for Argentina. I'm giving him game time. Sauer's been awful too. You know what? Why not change everything? Vial on you come to play shadow striker on attack. We do actually have a corner here, which I'm going to hope can amount to something before the changes even happen. We've hit the crossbar. I don't know how we've missed there. Hughes has headed it into the crossbar from point-blank range, from under the bar. Like, that was probably, like, literally a 1xG, that opportunity. I mean, the highlight's not ending yet, so maybe there's still hope. Marco, where are you going? He's lost. Hughes, please, lads, give me something. Give me hope. Please, please, something, anything. We've hit the woodwork. We're bringing it forward here. The subs haven't even happened yet, just as a reminder. Semeraro, Big Deli. Options inside. He marauds inside, does the Regista. Gives it to Curtis. There's players in the middle. Juan misses what was an absolute sitter. I was hoping he was offside. He wasn't offside. That was just an absolutely stinky miss. 20 minutes left. Look at the XG. Look at the chances in this game. We have been all over them in this one, but we've just not been able to find that all-important breakthrough. I think at this point we go a little bit more attacking. Ivkovic, go and play as a striker. On the left-hand side, Chima Egbo, on you come. Can you play left mid? You can play left attacking mid. You know what? Why not? Let's go for this. We've got to try and make something happen, haven't we, with what's left of this game. He'll play as a winger on attack. Do still have one sub left in my back pocket, which I feel like we'll just hold on to for now. But we're getting desperate. We're going to very attacking. I'm going to up the directness as well. Instruct the players to try and find some space to operate in. How are we not back in this game? How is it 1-0 Manchester United? I've got all these questions. There are no answers to be given. 4 minutes. Is there a chance? Echeverry's on the attack for them. This is not what I want to see, Football Manager. Lefeur, back to goal, forced to go back. United still look committing a lot of men forward here. Weifen with the ball to Lefeur. We are chasing shadows. We don't have a left-back right now, as a reminder. I got rid of him for a winger. It's given them space. Garnacho, deflected shot, scores. It's 2-0, and I feel sick. Now, in retrospect, was it the right idea to take off my left back or left wing back and put on a left winger? Look, we were desperate. We needed a goal. We were on very attacking. I'm not even sure that shot was going on target before it deflected in. You can see how we're the XG champions of England, can't you? Look at the XG. Look at the scoreline. It's all absolutely irrelevant, and it's incredibly frustrating. United profit from wasteful Magpies, and now the only competition we're still in is the Premier League. I mentioned, an FA Cup final tomorrow. That's not happening. I mean, ultimately now there are 5 games left of the Premier League season. Brighton, Wolves, Man City, Leicester, Villa. Today we are dosing up just one of those. It's an away game. It's a game we really, really need to win. In the intermission, Chelsea do play Aston Villa. Chelsea are in second. Chelsea, do me a favour and I'll be very, very happy. And I think saying I hate Manchester United, I'd like to have it on record. I love them. They got a draw against Aston Villa. And you know what's better than a draw for that result? The fact that Chelsea managed to win at home. And with that result and their most recent game, they've actually gone ahead of Man City. If I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League, Man City have been top since the beginning, and they've dropped very recently. I think that at one point they were 12 points clear. Man City, with respect, it's a generational bottling happening. I mean, look at these games here. They're out of the Champions League. They actually won the first leg and then lost 3-0 against AC Milan. That makes me feel really less bad about how we got on. But yeah, their form has been kind of stinky for a little while. Draw against United, loss against Chelsea, loss against Everton. And in a one-horse race, they're suddenly in second. Obviously, having said all of that, the main focus for us now is to get a win here, because it would move us beyond 3 points away from Aston Villa. And I realise I've just spent 2 minutes, haven't I, kind of belittling Man City. I have them in the third from last game of the season. That will be the first game tomorrow. So Maybe I'm really going to end up with egg on my face based on all of that waffle I've just kind of unleashed about Man City. But look, we're away from home. Brighton are in the bottom half. This should be straightforward, but nothing has been this year. We've drawn against Crystal Palace lately. We've drawn against Brentford, I think, twice. I feel like Brentford are actually our bogey team in this save game as Newcastle. It has certainly been less than ideal. Although we're on the attack here and looking to make something happen early. I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Faye, why couldn't he do that in the last game? It is comical, by the way, how small Faye is in the match engine, the Frenchman. I am still thinking in my head, by the way, of all the money I can maybe make off selling him on, having signed him on a free transfer. If he wants to score a few more to bolster his value, that would be very nice. Corner, Faye over it. An assist would be good for him, wouldn't it? Whipped in, cleared halfway. Souza, Faye looking to keep it alive here. Back to goal, turns his man. Not the best ball by the Frenchman, but we do still have possession. It's Hamilton to Semeraro, the right wing back. Charging forward, Curtis, the left wing back, with options inside, a little bit isolated in this wide area. Holds it up nicely, whip back post. Jun Hwan, oh my word. Goal number 25 of the year, and it's a spectacular header. In a team that definitely lacks, some really good tall strikers. Jun Hwan is our tall shadow striker. And I'll tell you what, he's leapt highest there and scored a great header. I feel like I've not shown his profile in a few days. Here he is, just as a reminder of how good he is. It's 12 heading, 16 jumping reach. I don't know why he's declined loads lately. Since he's arrived, I don't think he's actually got better either. I think this is just the player he's going to be, but I'll tell you what, we still love him. Okay, well, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Don't know what this is going to happen in the FA Cup, but I digress. We're getting things done here in the league at crunch time. This is, the 5th from last game of the year, and they all matter with how tight it is. Goal difference could still be a factor too. So the more goals we can score, the merrier. Juan heads just wide. Okay, 8 minutes left of this first half. We look good so far here, but I would love to look great. The ball's played forward to Souza. He's going to step forward, give it inside to Soa. Lovely build-up play here. Is that a penalty? That looks soft. There will be a VAR check, of course. I think this was in the box. So I hope Soa's not injured. He's rolling around very dramatically. Penalty review. Is there a pen? There is a pen. I hope he's not injured. I think he's okay. We've got a penalty here. It's Jun Hwan, the man with a plan. He's going for the Premier League Golden Boot, and a goal here would help him do just that. I'll tell you what a penalty that was. He's going to have 50 minutes to try and get his hat-trick. He has absolutely spanked that into the roof of the net. And I thought that might be that for the half. But you know what? As the clock strikes 40 minutes, there's more action happening. Surely we're not going to make it 4 before the break. We're away from home. Our form's been patchy, to say the very least. But in a moment where we really needed a spectacular performance, we are delivering. Hughes to Marco. Let's not concede a goal now that I've bigged us up nicely here. Brighton with plenty of players committed to the press, but there is a little bit of space in the wide area to maybe make something happen. Curtis, Souza. What can he do? Skips past his man. Lovely dribbling. Sour. Options. Inside and out. Big Deli. That has gone over, hasn't it? Not sure why that was shown as a highlight in retrospect. It wasn't even that close to being on target. It is surely going to be the last little bit of action we see in this first half. But 3 goals to the good. I'm feeling great. Okay, we're coming up to an hour played. The second half, been a bit quieter than the first. And before I can make changes, I was going to say there might be a goal. That's been headed over. I don't really want to touch things in the final third, but Big Deli's looking a little bit worse for wear. And you know what? In the wing-back areas, I'm just going to change things up. Hughes has been a bit tired lately. So you know what? Lundqvist, come on down. Lundqvist, by the way, what a centre-back this guy's ended up being. Brought him in to be a backup. I'm really happy with how he's contributed. I feel like the average rating's doing dirty because he's actually come on off the bench 12 times. And I feel like there's certain positions, and centre-back's one of them, where if you come on off the bench, you never really get above a 7. I'm not going to pretend this has been an absolute classic, but we've just done what we needed to do. Those 2 early goals certainly have settled the nerve. And, well, to be honest, we've managed to keep Brighton extremely quiet in this game. 0 shots on target for them. The fans are fuming. They're going to be leaving the stadium disappointed. Or are they? They've got their shot on target. The fans can celebrate that. But this game is done 3-0. We shut them down completely. Jun Hwan, man of the match, as we've come to expect. That's a result that sees us move, well, I want to claim closer to the likes of Tottenham and Arsenal, but obviously the point gap there is kind of bad. But crucially, there's a little bit of breathing room now over Aston Villa. Our next game is at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers. They're in 15th. I expect them to win that game. But if we look a little bit beyond that, we have got Man City away, Leicester at home and Villa away. Those 2 away games, if we slip up in them, might be enough to see me miss out on Champions League football. There is some massive games coming up. I feel like this has been a really weird season. If we'd won the FA Cup or the EFL Cup, I would have viewed it as probably a successful season in the grand scheme of things, but I can't help but feel a little bit dejected. We are really in danger of still not getting Champions League football at this point. There are still some mighty difficult games for us. Our fate is somewhat in our own hands with that game against Aston Villa. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel. It feels weird. I mean, the board have given me a B, but you can see here there's like green passes and green stuff just for everything. Loads of positives. But they've still only given me a B because it just doesn't feel like it's been a great year. You know what? I'm going to find the positive that in May last year we had negative £114 million in the bank. And right now it's out positive £7 million. We should be proud of that. We finished second last year. Where are we going to finish this year? You're going to have to come back tomorrow to find out as we end the season with a bang. 3 matches coming your way next time. I'll see you guys for all of them. Until then, take things easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.